In this video, we're going to explore why we end up in negative cycles and how we can break out of them. So often, when we have negative experiences, we end up in a cycle of judging ourselves for it. We don't know how to handle it, and most of the time, we're just pushing it aside, avoiding it. And I think the most common thing is just distracting us until the negative emotion, negative experience, or negative thought is suppressed. But what are we doing when we do this? We're training ourselves and our minds to be distracted, to not pay attention to the negative experience in our life. And hence, we're conditioning ourselves to push away the most important lessons in our lives. You might think that negative experiences are actually something bad, but they are actually the most valuable thing you can receive in life. It's just that because negative experience most of the time feel painful and feel like we experience suffering through them, and we do not know how to respond to them consciously. We're rather reactive towards it or trying to avoid it. That's our natural response. We're missing out on the huge opportunity for us to experience ourselves beyond the framework that we have created in our life, beyond the limitation and the limited identity we're experiencing. Because if our aim is to be free, if our aim is to experience freedom in our life from moment to moment, not just a few times when we achieve our goal or reach something, because that's anyway just an illusion that we're creating, then we need to understand that living in a conditioned state is being limited. Because now you're basically acting from the past. The definition of conditioning means that you have received a program, you received a program that you're now subconsciously playing over and over again without your knowledge or without your awareness. You're just letting it run. And so you're pretty much asleep to it. That's why, in some context as well, in the spiritual context, most people talk about awakening. What do we wake up to? Well, we wake up from the patterns, the programs, the conditioning that we have created within ourselves and that are running day and night in our subconscious. And so, in order to dissolve that, in order to change that, we need to realize that the only way forward, the only way to move forward is to face the negative experiences. It's no more to distract ourselves and go away, go on social media and scroll, just finding a few moments of relief through entertainment, through watching silly videos. Don't worry, I love cat videos too, but if that becomes a habit, if that's becoming your new conditioning, you're limiting your mind to such a big point that you're stagnating and you're creating a cycle, a loop of negativity. Because now imagine what you're creating is you have a negative experience, you go to distraction, and then you kind of forget about it because you have avoided it. Now you're social media scrolling, and now when another negative experience occurs, you're finding yourself repeating the same thing. Negative experience, distracting yourself, social media scrolling, and so on and so forth. And what is happening when you continuously do that? If we assume, and if in your experience this is already true, that negative experience is also energy, what do you think is happening if there's continuously energy coming in and we're pushing it away, we're pushing it down, we're avoiding it? What happens with that energy when we're suppressing it? Well, we're pushing it into the shadow. And at one point, sooner or later, it will express itself in a surprising way. It did for me 10 years ago, when I had a car accident where that car accident I broke 4 spinal cords. And so I had over a year in the bed where I was recovering and rejuvenating my spine. And it got me thinking, it got me reflective, thinking about my life and how I want to move forward. And I realized how many voices, how many thoughts and beliefs and programs, conditioning I was carrying around me, and how my life was not directed by me, but by everyone around me. That, you know, maybe you heard of the quote, you're the 5 people, you're the average of the 5 people you spend most time with. It is very true, because their thoughts, their emotions, their patterns, their conditioning is moving on to you as well. It's a echo chamber you're experiencing. And so I was realizing that I do not want to live this way anymore. And I made a choice that day. I made a complete commitment to myself that from this day on, that was like the day before I left the rehabilitation center after training and building up my muscles, because I was just like 50 kilo at that point. When you don't move, you're losing pretty much everything. And I committed to myself that from this day on, I'm going to be on my own path. I'm going to go on my own way, no matter what that means, no matter what that looks like. And at that time, of course, I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know that it would look like a lot of unlearning, realizing all the conditions that I've been carrying around me. Because it is one thing to commit to yourself that you go on your own path, but it's another to face your shadows, to face all the years of programming in your mind and see them not as a part of you, but as a part that has been given to you, but you just made it your identity. And so creating that distance between your programming and your true identity, who you are, that was the path for me. That was what I was doing over the last decade through many years of meditation, sitting in stillness, sitting in silence, being diving deeper into the classical hatha yoga system and spending many hours just sitting with myself and seeing what is arising. Because the only way forward for me was to see and face what is within me. And if you have the courage to do that, you must do so. Not tomorrow, but now. You must do it now. Because there's no tomorrow, really. If you're postponing and you're avoiding still your negativity and the negative cycles in your life and the negative emotions, if you keep avoiding them, gonna maybe show up surprisingly. Maybe it's gonna explode one day. For me, it did through a car accident where life was just like, okay, you know what? You're living your life in such a way right now where your trajectory will become, well, maybe not the life that you truly want to experience here or why you came here for. And so sometimes it comes through sickness, sometimes it comes through an accident. It can happen in many ways. So if you don't do it consciously, if you don't face it consciously, it might come in different ways. And of course, I don't wish that to anyone. I don't wish anyone something bad. But it's just a natural tendency of energy that if you're not taking care of it, of all the suppressed thing, of all the suppressing emotion, of all the suppressed emotions and thoughts and negative experiences, one day will come up because it will have no more way to go. You might be able to store and store and store, but at one point the storage will be full. And if you put one more negative experience there, you will see it will express itself in many different ways. Oftentimes in terms of symptoms in your body, sometimes mental health issues, and so on and so forth. So if you want to break your negative thought cycles, it's time for you to face them. No more avoid them, because this is where your true potential lies. This is where you can connect with the parts of you that you've been neglecting for such a long time. The hidden desires, the hidden wishes, the hidden things that you truly love to do in your life. Because you might, right now, you might not think that you want something specific in your life. You might feel not motivated, maybe uninspired, maybe you're experiencing just moving through the motions. But trust me, that is because so much of you has been suppressed and you experience such a dullness that it feels like asking yourself, what's the point of everything? And I was in the same state. I was in a state of dullness where nothing felt like something. My five senses felt very dull and I couldn't experience life. And so once I unlearned everything, once I faced myself, once I went into myself and looked into what is there, what is all the conditioning, it slowly dissolved piece by piece, part by part. Because the moment you're facing your conditioning, the moment you're facing what you have been suppressing, it might feel painful, it might be hard, but it will be so healing and freeing at the same time. Don't be afraid to feel it. Don't be afraid to feel what you can feel, Because through the dullness over the years, you might not be so sensitive anymore. And so when the emotion comes back to you, when you're tapping into that suppressed energy and you're releasing it, you might feel a lot, and that is okay. And that is a sign for you that you're actually right now moving forward, actually releasing. When the feeling feels overwhelming and you're allowing yourself to feel it, not suppress it, not avoid it, then you're beginning the process. Then you're releasing, then you're letting go. Because the only thing that needs to be done truly is to bring the conditioning, the program, the negative experience from the past into awareness and feel it fully. It wants your attention, it wants to be known. Because the lesson of the negative experience is for you and you only. And of course, if you share them with others, you can also share the lesson that you got. But it's above all specifically for your life situation and your own evolution. That's the top priority of the negative experience within you. So it's time for you. It's time. Don't wait until tomorrow. Please do me that favor. It's time to turn inward and see what is there that no longer serves me. What are the things that I'm still avoiding, that are pushing away, that I fall into distraction? And you can notice them. You can notice them when there's something you feel that is not so pleasant and you're going to scroll on social media, for example, or you're distracting yourself differently. It doesn't even need to be just social media. Even if you go just out with a friend or you're doing an activity, even going to the gym. Yes, the energy can be moving, but are you really facing what is there within you? Are you really being able to pay attention to it without trying to move away from it? Because that's the only way you can face it. Don't try to escape it. Don't try to escape the moment you're feeling. Don't try to escape the moment you're feeling. And when you can fully be aware and when you can fully feel what is here to be felt, you'll feel that enormous freedom within you. It's today. It's now. Thank you so much for being here today. I wish you a wonderful day.